area. So to start with, I'm going to talk about unit conversions of area when we're moving into 2 dimensions. So I want you to consider a basic square, and let's have a look at this square being 1 centimetre by 1 centimetre. Now, if I was to work out its area in terms of centimetres squared, I take 1 centimetre, multiply it by 1 centimetre, and that gives me an area of 1 centimetre squared. Hence, I'm moving into 2 dimensions now. Okay, well, we know from 1 dimension conversions that the same measurement, 1 centimetre, is equivalent to 10 millimetres. So if I write just the different unit, I haven't changed the size of the square, I've just used a different unit. 10 millimetres by 10 millimetres gives me an area of 100 millimetres squared, because 10 times 10 is 100 millimetres squared. Now, I haven't changed the size of the square. What that tells me is the conversion from centimetre squared to millimetre squared means I have to multiply by 100, which is the same as multiplying by 10 squared. So let's just have a look at some other area conversions. So I'll start with millimetres here, centimetres, metres and kilometres. Okay, so we just discussed that going from centimetre squared to millimetre squared is multiplying by 10 squared. Normally, I should have squared on the end there, apologies. There we go. Normally, if I'm going from centimetres to millimetres, I'd multiply by 10, but now I'm in the 2nd dimension, going from centimetre squared to millimetre squared, I need to times by 10 squared. So let's have a look. Normally, from bog standard metres to centimetres, I times by 100. But this time, I'm going to multiply by 100 squared, because I'm now in 2 dimensions. Again, let's look at kilometres to metres. Normally, kilometres to metres, I multiply by 1,000. So to go from kilometres squared to metres squared, I'm going to times by 1,000 squared. Okay, which technically makes it 1,000,000 times, or you're multiplying it by 1,000,000, aren't you? And of course, to go the other way, we then divide by the same amount. Okay, so that's just important that you understand the conversions in 2 dimensions. Okay, so I'm just hoping I've not made any mistakes there, writing everything down. And that's how we convert. Okay, so if I wanted to say, what's 15 centimetres squared worth in metres squared? Well, if I had that and I want to go to metres squared, I need to divide by 100 squared in order to convert that into metres squared, which would be a very small number. Okay,